G'day everybody. We're by the fire with the light. And I want to talk about some things. And when I talk about things too, sometimes people, I talk about a lot of theories. And when I talk about theories, they don't mean I believe them. It just means I'm looking at them. It means it's a possibility until I figure it out myself in my own way. But if I'm still looking, I haven't found the information that has convinced me yet that it's not real, that it's not what I'm looking at. That's why I keep looking. Because if I found the answer, I wouldn't keep looking. But anyway, I want to give one out for the tarot readers out there and people who believe in magic and all that, right? And doing spells and stuff, right? And I just want to talk about their logic of that and explain it in another way, just in case people don't understand it. Because sometimes you got to explain things different ways because people just don't understand it, and they understand things differently. It's like learning math differently and English differently. You can learn things differently. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to explain about spells and backfires, and then another way when it comes to the real reality of the similar thing. Here it goes. So when you send off a spell, you hear these stories as well. These people, these bad people, and what bad people do in real life is they're really, really bad. They won't stop, so they'll just keep being bad to the end until you shoot them, or they're hanging off a cliff and you want to pull them up, and they're just assholes and you have to let them go. Kind of bad people, right? So you can imagine one of them, if they've got the spellbook control spells, will they stop? Well, they won't. But in the spellbook, right, it says if you do these spells and you do it wrongly and it doesn't work out right, it's got all these rules, that you'll get backfires. And they'll come back real bad. But in the book, it also says there's a spell for backfires, right? If you want to do that, because what that is doing is it just delays the consequences. And I'll explain that soon in another way, how that happens. And so what they do is they keep doing spells to try to delay the backfire, right? But obviously if they do that right till they die, the backfire will be all their next previous life or something like that, or the next lives, or their family's lives and all that kind of thing. You know, it could be probably pretty hectic. And so you'd want to really stop as soon as you found out that it was true. Like, imagine if you were reading out the book and you didn't even know it was working, but then you did see it was working. So you see the spells are working, and you know the book says about backfires, and eventually it's going to come, but you just keep doing these, no, I don't want the backfire spells, and, you know, it's a bad move, isn't it? It's a really, 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 really bad mood. So the thing is eventually just to stop. All of a sudden, like a gambler, knowing that they're gambling, they need to stop. There's like, it just needs to stop, right? And however way possible that is. Until that moment, you're going to have the problem that you're going to keep going into, getting worse, doing more and more spells, and so on to solve your problem. Because people do the same thing when it comes to financial problems, which is how we run our life. And money is like, you could say, spells, like fixing your life, doing a spell, getting money, doing a spell to get a car, right? Going for a loan, getting money, so you can look at it in another way. See, when you do tarot readings, and the cards they use, you got to make sure you read the right cards, because if cards are talking about spells, they might, and the entity's trying to speak to you, it might put spells as money, right? And what you're doing, and if you're getting money, right, to help your life, what people do is they can get stuck in a rut with credit cards, and they overspend, and what they do is to solve the problem, they still work, and they're working. And this is what a lot of people, a lot of workers are stuck into, and you can look this kind of stuff up, and they're into $500,000 debts and stuff like this, $1 million debts, and they're still working, and it looks like they've got a nice house, and they'll have all their stuff, right? It looks like they're rich, most of the people out there, but they're not, most not. That's why they have this thing about everyone's in debt, right, when it comes to the money, and everyone won't own anything, but they'll be happy, because what they're explaining with that is that, what I'm just saying now is that you get all these people just getting credit cards, and so that they're forever in debt and forever a slave to the money system and how they can control them. You get it? And that's what the government... See, if you wanted to control people, you get the government to make you rely on money, to get you debt. Then they can control you. Okay? So you got to watch that, and that's why I've been talking about the things I've been talking about. They're people who are getting stuck in that debt and going, shit, what am I going to do? Hire a credit card, another spell, right? To delay the inevitable. What am I going to do? Some of them work harder, and then you've got to work harder and harder. But then you realise with the government and the system, how it's set up, how the bully is bullying you, is he's up in the price, he's up in the price, he's up in the price. I'm going to cause things and be a shit person and go, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know why food's running out and all this stuff. So I can up the price to get control. Okay, people? And that is what's going on when it comes to the pharmaceutical and all these bullies, this 1% of bullies that is bullying the world. Anyway, I thought I'd chuck that out to you. And I like to study and explain things in different ways. And I thought, hey, people might understand what's going on there. And imagine a world where the money's, can be spells, and there is spells. How these spells, and besides the money with control, they're not really powerful spells like you see out of the movies, right, people? But they're enough to, and they've got rules, like I said, so to attack certain people, they've got to be low in energy, you got to make them feel bad, you got to pick on them, so that way you can use these spells to make them even worse, lose memory and feel angry and stuff. So imagine if that was really happening. Could that be happening to leaders around the world? And only leaders would know this. Is that been happening more often than usual? You could go back in history and find out. These are studies I would like to know to find out if things were really real, or is it just the money that's causing the problem, maybe. Anyway, I'm blabbing, so have a good one. And I can't wait till one day, because I'm going to go mute very soon, I have to sort out this problem that I've been talking about. And when I finally get recognised, and I could go mute, it could be a day, 2 days, whatever, but I've got to do it. And when I finally get recognised, I'll be talking more often and doing these dances in the rooms with me birdie babies and catching up with you. But also having a laugh, right? And we all got to understand that. Have a good one. See you later.